All right, so let's keep talking a little bit more about UML. As we chatted last time, UML stands for the Unified Modeling Language. It's a graphical representation of your understanding of a system that you're building. That we should curb our urge to start coding right away, to sit or grab a whiteboard for us to graphically describe what it is that we intend to be to build, to clarify requirements or to document for posterity or folks that might be onboarded, and be able to explain to them what is it that we are building. UML has gone through several revisions, the latest being 2.2, and there's some minor changes on, for instance, on how we document mappings or associations and whatnot. And I did point out a couple of differences on, in particular, association classes. Yeah, so this is just a note that we should curb our urges to start coding right away and to just be able to sit down and try to talk through what the representation of the system that we're building and to formally represent it graphically. Again, some of the same things we talked about last week. Other things about UML, that it provides multiple different ways of documenting it depending on what it is that you're interested in, on capturing, whether you want to be able to describe the system in a static format, regardless of the variable of time, or do you want to capture the system as it evolves over time, or from different point of views, from somebody who's outside of the system or from within, or the behaviors as the system interacts or responds to different events and evolves and changes state over time. The external perspective typically is being able to come to determine what the boundaries of the systems are, so that we can be very clear on what it is that we're building and what it is that we're not building. Right? During the meetings with the business, usually they'll ramble on describing all sorts of things, all sorts of details that are completely irrelevant to what we are actually building, and they might be describing different systems that our system would interact with, but is not what we're building. So the external perspective diagrams is very important to identify exactly what it is that we're building and what we're not building. Right? What is the context that it needs to interact with? There's different diagrams that allow us to describe how our system interacts with other systems and their dependencies from different points of view. From point of view of a user as they interact, using their hands and all their gestures and their mouse and whatnot, and to fulfill a particular goal. We already talked about those. Those are typical use cases from the point of view of the user trying to achieve a particular goal. And sequence diagrams allows us to describe how the various parts interact with one another, sending different messages from the different parts of the systems, between different users interacting with one another, or the users interacting with the system themselves. So here's an example of a use case that it's a narrative of a particular actor or few actors interacting with one another, and it's interesting to try to identify what the verbs are, what the nouns are, what the different events occur, and those are clues that we can use to start modeling, right? To start trying to represent this formally. So here's a coffee shop that let's read quickly. Oops, it's gonna. Isn't that just fine?